So what you want to do, if we think about what we talked about last time, we talked about the elements of communication. According to some studies, 7% is words. What are the other two measurements?
Body language?
Body language is about 35%, and 55% is tonality and voice. Okay? So you've got 7% words, the other 93%. So if you want to get deep hypnotic rapport with someone, if you want to communicate to someone that you are like them, you're going to use that 93%. You want to consciously communicate unconsciously to them by using that 93%. But give another example. If you think of two people in a restaurant, think of two people having dinner. They're in rapport with each other. It's like their communication becomes a sort of dance. It's a flow of words, of gestures, of responses. So think of two people in a restaurant. What do you notice about them when they're communicating?
They're listening to each other.
They're listening to each other, so they're looking at each other. They're probably
facing each other.
Mhm.
Isn't there something also about whether you have your legs crossed or open to somebody? It means something
Well,
as well.
if they're in rapport, they're probably going to have the same physiology. They're probably going to have their bodies positioned in the same way. They're going to be using the same gestures. So one will speak and gesture with one hand and the other will mirror back the same gestures in synchrony. They'll probably be in the same state. They'll probably be using similar facial expressions. And that's rapport. So the important thing to know is when we communicate with people, we get into rapport naturally. It's natural that when you're communicating with someone that we get into that type of rapport, where you're in the same state, using the same gestures, the same physiology, the same facial expressions. The thing is, in sales, that kind of rapport can be totally absent. And if it's absent, how can you influence? So what we want to learn to do is, instead of meeting someone and waiting for that rapport to develop, because you don't have a lot of time, right? You have literally seconds to get that kind of rapport. So what you want to do is learn how to consciously and deliberately put someone in that state of trust.